In this video, I will be going over how to create new SKU feeds for the Rakuten.com Marketplace. I will be doing a example feed in apparel, but the same rules would apply to any category that you wish to create new SKUs in. It is worth noting we do gate categories, so if you signed up to sell in apparel, but you'd also like to sell and list new products in home and outdoor, make sure you are approved to create new SKUs in home and outdoor by sending us an email, and it's something we can take care of very quickly. We just have to get in contact with you first. With that being said, let's just jump right into it. Go to your RMS portal login page. I will post a link for the login in the description below. Let's log into my test account. And I'm going to want to click on Upload Feed under the Manage Products header. And then once you're on this page, go to the bottom and click on the Marketplace New SKU Feed Templates. This will redirect you to a new page, and you're going to want to select your department. If you are looking to create new SKUs in two categories, such as apparel and home and outdoor, you will need to submit two different feeds, and they each have their own different template. I will be doing apparel in this example, so let's go ahead and select that. You will see that the new SKU feed documents will change based off of what you select, so you get the correct information. First things first, you're going to want to download the template. Let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to want to move this to my desktop. Perfect. Let's open this up. Awesome. Now you'll see a lot of columns. Don't worry, we're going to go line by line, or row by row and column by column to make sure you understand what each column is and what you can fill out there. We do have little hover menus, so you can hover and see what each column is quickly. There's also more detailed information as to what can go inside each cell, and that was back on this page. The new SKU feed specifications link will give you each column and if it's required or not, and how long or what the character limit is per each cell. We also are going to need to open the category attributes. This process will be the same across all categories. They're going to be different numbers and categories, but the rules will still apply. So let's go back to my feed here. Your seller ID, this is going to be found on your RMS portal homepage, or any page I suppose. On the top right, it'll say your shop name and your shop owner ID, seller ID. This is what we want. So let's take this and let's enter that on this row. If you see right now, it looks a little silly, the little numbers. This is simply due to the column being too small. If you expand it, you'll see that it shows your correct number. GTIN, this is the UPC field. If you manufacture your own products and you're a private label, and you don't have UPCs, you can apply for a UPC exemption. That's very easy to do. Just send us an email, inform us that you don't have UPCs. We'll send you a questionnaire, fill it out, and send it back. And if your products do have UPCs, please put them on this column, the GTIN field. And remember, if you need to, you can reference this sheet, the specification sheet, and it'll show you what can go in each column. And that is found once you select your category, this first link. I have a UPC exemption on my test account, so I will not be doing this. But if your products have UPCs, put them there. ISBN we can skip. manufacturer name. If you are creating stuff that is made by Black & Decker, put Black & Decker in the manufacturer name. I make my own t-shirts, so I am putting Paul's Clothes as the manufacturer. Manufacturer part number, this is the unique product ID assigned by the manufacturer. Make sure it's a unique across all your products. You will not be able to duplicate the manufacturer part numbers. I will be making t-shirts from the popular Disney movie Frozen. So I will have Olaf t-shirts, 2 sizes and 2 colors. So the first one I'm going to do is black. ASIN, you can skip that field. Seller SKU, many people will use the same manufacturer part number if they make their own products. It's really just an arbitrary number you make up that helps you track your product. Again, this has to be unique as well. The title is pretty self-explanatory. We want it to be generic. For example, I'm doing a t-shirt. Oops, I'm actually doing Olaf. And I am going to be doing black and white with 2 sizes. I don't want to include the sizes or colors in the title. There's going to be drop-down menus for that, which I'll go into more detail in just a little bit. You also do not want to use all caps. You're going to need to send your feed to us for review and processing. We want to make sure all the content going to our site is good. So all your new SKU feeds need to be emailed to us. Descriptions. This is important. It's a 1-paragraph description with no HTML, no line breaks, or no paragraph breaks. Just a plain text description. I'll just type one out really quick. Awesome shirt. This is where the info goes. No HTML. Main image. These need to be valid web addresses. They need to be JPEG or .gif images. Other ones will not work. If you have additional images, you can use up to 4, and you would need to separate them with the pipe symbol. So you'd want to highlight the cell, use your image, or use your URL, and then the pipe symbol is the button above the enter key with shift. So you shift, and it looks like a big long line. So shift, use it, use your other URL, shift, pipe, same thing, on and on. You cannot duplicate additional images that are used in your main image, so I'm going to remove this because it's the same URL. It would just error out. So I do not need additional images, so I'm not going to do that. Weight. This is the shipping weight in pounds. Do not include the abbreviation for pounds. Do not put pounds on there. Just do the simple value. If your product is half a pound, you would do 0.5. If your product is 1.5 pounds, you do 1.5. You don't do 1.5 lbs or 1.5 pounds. Just a simple value. Mine is going to be 1 pound. This is the shipping weight. Features, these are going to be bullet points on the listing. It's going to be in bullet point format. You're going to want to separate each feature with a pipe, similar to the additional images. So for my features, I will do pre-shrunk, pipe symbol, cotton, pipe symbol, awesome shirt, pipe symbol, cool. That's going to have 4 bullet points. And remember, the pipe is shift and the button above the enter key. Listing price and MSRP, these are very important. These are the same. They need to be listed for the same. Listing price is not going to be your selling price. It's just the MSRP. So when our system was created, we used two different things for it. So, but while you're making your feed, use the same number in both these fields to avoid any issues down the road. It's going to be $19.99 for mine. It's also important if you'd like your products to show up as a discount. It will only work if you are listing your product for less than the MSRP. So if I'm doing the MSRP of $19.99 and then I go and list my product for $24.99, it's not going to show a discount. If I list my product for $9.99 and the system right here sees it's for $19.99, it's going to show 50% off. Right now, I'm glad this kind of happened. It says 20. That's just because the column is small. It's going to round up because there's not enough room for it to display the $19.99. It's just an Excel thing. These next few columns can get confusing, so please pay attention. Category ID, this is why I had you create 2 tabs for the category attributes. I am going to be creating shirts, so I'm going to find my shirts category, and that's going to be 16756. So let's go ahead and input that into my column here. Keywords, we no longer use this field. We don't use it, so just go ahead and skip it. If you enter stuff, any words, we're not going to pick it up. So save yourself the trouble of any errors on your response files. Just skip the keywords column. Product set ID, this should only be used if you're going to group products together that have variations, such as size or color. You will need to make sure that the category ID you're using allows for the use of product set IDs. And I'm going to be doing that here with my shirts because I have 2 colors and 2 sizes. So let's see. Go back to my page here. These are all the attributes for shirts and tops. The ones in the square brackets are required, and the ones in the squiggly brackets are going to be the variant attributes that will have the drop-down menus. So you'll see age, gender is required, color is required, top style, baby sizes, or the shirts and top size. So if it's baby shirt, you put in the baby size. If it's not a baby shirt, ignore that and use the other shirts and top size. There's all these additional attributes you can use, but they're not required. So we're going to go column by column here, and we'll come back to this product set ID. Anything you want to group needs to have the same unique product set ID. So I guess we'll just do, it's an Olaf shirt. We're going to do Olaf Love. The Olaf Love shirts. And every shirt that I'd like to group needs to have this same product set ID, otherwise it's not going to group them together. We don't have parent-child relationships on our marketplace. We simply create each SKU individually, and we use the product set ID to group your products together. So let's go back and see what the first required attribute is. Age, gender. Good. And I had 2 of these open because I'm going to keep one open on the top to see what's required, and I'm going to use the second one to scroll down to the appropriate attribute. So age, gender, you have to choose one of the following values for age, gender. You cannot make up your own. You cannot change the spelling. If it's men's, you have to type it in MENS. You cannot do MEN''S. It has to be exactly typed as it's shown. Mine is going to be men's. So we're going to put men's in there for age, gender. It's also a good idea. I haven't done it yet, but let's go ahead and save our progress in case something ever happens. Your computer crashes or anything else happens. It's always good. It's always good to do this. So I'm saving my progress. The next attribute is going to be color, and this is going to be the variant attribute because it has the squiggly lines. So let's go see what I can put in for color. It says enter any string value. This means I can make up any color. If I have my own blend, a checkerboard or white-black combo, I can type in whatever I'd like here. but mine are simply going to be black and white. So let's find the color column, and I am doing black first. Next is going to be top style. So you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I have to look and see what's required, and then once I find what's required, look what I can type in that attribute. So top style, I'm going to be looking for this. There it is. All these different options. Mine are just going to be plain shirts, but if you had polos, jerseys, any one of these. And remember, it has to be one of these. You cannot make up your own. So let's find top style. Shirts. I will reference though, if it says choose one or more of the following, in my example I won't be having two different top styles, but other categories may. If it says like choose occasion or something, you can choose multiple occasions if you separate each occasion or each attribute with the caret symbol. So I'm not going to do it here. I'm just going to show you what it would look like if it was a shirt and a cami and a tank top. You'd want to separate each attribute with the caret, which is Shift 6. I'm not doing that, but if you need to, you can. Only if it says choose one or more. If it just says choose one, you can only do one. Let's go down to the next one, baby sizes or shirts and top size. So mine was a men's shirt, so let's find shirts and top size. There are a lot of different options here. Choose one or more of the choose one of the following values: one size, youth extra small, youth medium, youth large, all there, and then there's more down here. I'm only doing 2. It's going to be S for small, M for medium, L for large. Don't type in small or medium, it won't work. You have to do M for mediums and L for larges. So let's go to mine. I don't remember what I was doing first. Mediums, okay. So I'm looking for shirts and top size. Right there. Medium. Alright, let's say apparel material. Remember, these are all optional. You don't have to do them. You can if you'd like. I'll just do one really quick. Maybe I'll probably do the wrong one if I can, just so when I validate the feed at the end we can get an error and I can show you how to read it and how to fix it. Alright, so apparel material, you'll have to choose one or more of the following values. I'm going to make up my own here just so it errors. I will do I'll spell cotton wrong so you can kind of see how it looks. Alright, so now I have one product, one row completed. If you're doing multiple sizes and colors using Excel, it's very easy to duplicate them, but you will have to change the core data that needs to be unique. So I'm going to do 4 SKUs total, 2 colors, 2 sizes. So I'm just going to click on this bottom right cross here and just roll that down. Same manufacturer part name. My manufacturer part number is different. It's different per color and size. So let's go ahead and do that. And then the seller SKU is the same as my manufacturer part number. Titles are all the same. Remember, you don't want to put the gender, you don't want to put the color or size in title. They'll be able to select that once they go to the page. Descriptions are all the same. Images are important. You want to make sure you match up the right images. If you put, I have here, you'll see it here, I have a black image here and a white image here. If I include the white link with the black row, they're going to select black and it's going to show a white shirt. So make sure your images line up properly. So black, I got my two black ones, good. White, here. Images also need to be 500 by 500. I'll show you what my images look like real quick. Mine are a little small, but you'll see that I have black and the white one. Same style shirt, just different colors. That's why I'm grouping them together in this example. Alright, all their weights are the same, so I'm just going to select that color, the cross, scroll down, all the features are the same. Listing price and MSRP is the same. If you're doing jewelry and you're doing chain length or whatnot, you can change the MSRP and listing price per line. So if you're doing a 24-inch necklace or a 16-inch necklace, you want to price the 24 one higher. Make sure you're on the 24 line, and then increase the price to whatever you'd like. Mine are all the same price, so I'm going to leave it there. All the same category ID. The product set ID, I want to group these together, so I'm using the same product set ID. If I were to mess this up and do Olaf Love 2, these first three products would be grouped, and this one's by himself. So anything you want to group together, use the same value. All my attributes can be the same. I want this attribute to fail. We'll come back to that later. Color, you want to make sure you're selecting the right colors, because if I do white up here, they're going to select white and see a black image. We don't want to confuse the customer. Make sure your data is correct. The size, it was medium large, medium large. There's one more. Top style was shirts. Remember, if you wanted to do more attributes, you can. I'm not going to, but you just follow the same process we've been doing. Find the attribute and scroll down and see what you can put in there. If it's not listed, it's not compatible, and it will not work. So let's go back to the feed. I'm going to save this as Olaf test. Every feed needs to be saved as a text tab delimited. So I'm going to select text tab delimited, save it. It's always good to save your feeds for future use. If you need to update the attributes or update the images, you can simply plug in the new information, send us the feed, we'll reload it, and it'll update. It'll update that way. Instead of redoing the feed, you save your feed. It's way easier to correct it. So once you complete the feed, we can validate it before you send it over to us. You can send it to us now, but it's gonna, if it errors, you have to wait for our response. So if it's faster just to validate it yourself, see if there's any errors, fix the errors yourself. If you're unable to fix the errors, that's fine. Just email us. I will include our email address in the link below, or description below, and say, here's my feed, I'm getting this error, I don't know how to fix it, and we'll definitely walk you through it. So once you're on your RMS portal's homepage, we're going to click Validate Feed. We're going to select the feed, and mine is Olaf Test, and I'm going to submit the file for validation. It shouldn't take too long, anywhere from 5 to 45 seconds. If you have lots of lines or lots of rows, it'll take longer. But if you just have a few, it shouldn't take too long. And while this is validating, I forgot to mention, if you're creating SKUs for the first time, you're probably going to want to use the seller SKU as the reference ID. Right now we're doing step 1 in the process for creating and listing new SKUs. Our system is going to take this information, create it in our catalog, and then you can list it for sale by doing an inventory feed. And there's a different video going over the inventory feed. It's a little simpler. quicker to compile, but it's the same type of format and instructions. And there's a video on that I can link below as well. So let's check the progress here and see what the error log says. And you can open this file in Notepad. So let's see what it says. Line contains an invalid column count. It should match the header. Okay, this is good. And I'm also getting the apparel material error. So I'm going to go back to my feed here and see why line 2 is trying to error out. Okay, good. Alright, let's save this. And I want it to, if it errors again, I'm going to show you how to open the feed in a text editor so we can see where the errors are happening. So let's do this again. Now let's wait. And while that's going, I'll take you to Notepad++. This is a free download. It's a text editor similar to Notepad, and that comes with your Windows, but it's a little better in terms of showing you errors. So let's go ahead and do this real quick. Very, very quick. Let's see if it validated. Okay, good. Same errors. So let's see. You can open the feeds in Notepad++, so let's go ahead and do that. Olaf test, you just click and drag. And if that doesn't work, you can simply open it from here. So we can see when you open it in Excel, it looks good. But when you open it in Notepad++, there's some formatting issues here. So I'm going to find out, okay, where is the where all these blank spaces? So it looks like it's in the images. So let's go ahead and check that out and see what I have in the images. It could potentially be here. So let's clear the content in the images. And let's reference this again. Alright, good. So I'm going to close it out here, save it again, and let's see if that worked. Perfect. Each line is clean. There's no running lines. So now I'm going to validate the feed again. And now it should only show the CTN is not a valid attribute or valid value for the apparel material. So I'll just prepare it ahead of time. Just going to type in cotton for all these. Save the feed. Download the error log. Good. This should be the last time. And as you can see, there is some, back and forth fixing the errors. running through the validation again. Your first few feeds might take a little bit of time, but once you get familiar with our process and what you can type in, if you're making the same category over and over again, you can kind of remember what's there and where each attribute will be. You can scroll down faster. It's good that there are the errors in this feed with Notepad++, so you can open the feed there and get a different look at it. It needs to look, each line needs to be its own product. So if it were to do this, it's going to give you the column count error. So we want to make sure each line is very clean. Let's go back to the validation. Open it up. Successful, no errors. At this point, you would save that feed, keep it for your reference, send it to us and say, please process this feed. You're going to send it to mpsuccess@marketplace.rakuten.com. That email will be in the description below. We'll receive the email. We'll open the feed and check its content, make sure the titles aren't all caps, make sure there's no warranty or OEM information on the titles. And if it looks good, we'll send it through and process it and send you an email and say you can list these products for sale after 2 hours have passed, and you can do that manually in your RMS portal, or you can do it with an inventory feed, which I would suggest. That concludes the new SKU Feed video. If you have any questions or need clarification on anything, please email us and let us know, and we will be happy to assist you. Thanks for watching.